If not, I'm so glad to have you home. I just felt really guided to hop on here today because, honestly, there's a strange energy in the air right now. It's heavy, it's draining, and I know I'm not the only one feeling it. I've spoken to a few others who are picking up on it too, so if you've been sensing something off, feeling more tired than usual, or just not quite yourself, this message is for you. I want to dive into the energy today and see what wants to come through. If you found this video, it's not by accident. You're here for a reason. Maybe you've been searching for some clarity, some kind of confirmation, something to make sense of what's been happening within and around you. And let me just say, whatever guidance comes through today is not meant to replace your intuition. It's meant to confirm it. Because the truth is, you already know. Your soul already holds the answers. My only goal with these readings is to help you reconnect with that deep knowing within yourself. So, before we get into it, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here, for sharing your energy, and for tuning in. And of course, if you're already feeling a connection with this space, I invite you to subscribe and join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative souls here on YouTube. Now let's talk about this energy because it is heavy. I've been feeling it, and if you're here, I know you have too. It's this deep exhaustion, this lethargic, almost foggy kind of feeling. And interestingly enough, when I went to pull the energy oracle cards, something really caught my attention. As I reached for the deck, I realized one card had been left behind on the table. Just one. And you already know, I don't believe in accidents. That card, victory. And that's where we're starting today. Because even in this tired, drained, uncertain energy, there's a breakthrough coming. So, let's get into it and see what other messages want to come through. Something I want to mention, all day I've had this feeling like when you've been running and suddenly stop to catch your breath. That moment where you feel like you're still in motion, even though you're standing still. Almost like you've been moving ahead too fast, and now you're being forced to slow down. And honestly, that feels like the collective energy right now. It's like we're all catching our breath, but in a deeper, more symbolic way. This is a moment of pause, a moment of rest. And if you've been feeling like you just need to stop, to recharge, to take a breath, that's exactly what you're meant to do. And listen, if that little voice in your head has been making you feel guilty about it, telling you that you should be doing more, pushing harder, being productive, let that go. This isn't just about rest. It's about unlearning the guilt that comes with it. And here's the thing, this guilt, it's not even yours. A lot of us are carrying this energy from generations before us. It's in the maternal line, the lineage of divine feminines who came before you. Women who were never given the space to slow down. Women who had to keep going no matter what, who had to survive, who had to put everyone else first, because rest wasn't an option. But you're here to break that cycle. And what's so powerful about this is that you don't even have to try. The healing is happening on a subconscious level. That heaviness you feel, that exhaustion, it's your body processing generations of unspoken pain. And the only way to release it is to allow yourself to feel it. Now, for some of you, this runs even deeper. There's something about self-image, the relationship you have with your own body. I keep getting this overwhelming energy of feminine ancestors who had to disconnect from their bodies just to survive. Women who learn to silence their intuition, numb their emotions, ignore the signals their bodies were giving them, because listening, feeling, being fully present in their physical form wasn't safe. And if you resonate with this, you might have moments where you feel disconnected from yourself, unsure of how to trust what your body is telling you. Maybe you feel uncomfortable being fully seen, fully in your power. That's not just you. That's the energy of generations before you, and you're here to heal it. I'm also getting something about symbols. Maybe some of you have tattoos that feel deeply connected to your story, to your ancestors. Or maybe there's a piece of jewelry you wear, something passed down, something that carries meaning. These small details might seem random, but they hold energy. They're reminders of the strength, the resilience, the stories you're carrying. And right now, all of it is rising to the surface. These patterns, these emotions, these moments where you suddenly feel something heavy but don't know why. That's the old energy releasing. It's intense, it's unexpected, and sometimes it might even feel like too much. But you are strong enough to hold it. You are here in this moment because you were meant to break these cycles. I'm picking up that this may have been labeled as some kind of psychological issue in the past, but really, what was happening was so much deeper than that. The women before you, your feminine ancestors, didn't just struggle emotionally. They had to disconnect from parts of themselves just to survive. They had intuitive knowing, powerful gut feelings, but they lived in circumstances where following that inner voice wasn't an option. So, over time, they learned to shut it out. They numbed themselves, silenced their own truth, separated from their bodies just to make it through. And now, you are the one breaking that pattern. If this resonates with you, then you've probably noticed something different about yourself. You cannot go against your intuition for long without feeling it physically. It's like the moment you step out of alignment, your body reacts. Maybe it's headaches, stomach aches, sudden exhaustion. Your body speaks loudly. And sure, I'm not a doctor. Always check in with medical professionals when needed. But there's no denying that your intuition lives in your body. You've likely spent your life feeling like you just couldn't go along to get along. Maybe you've made sudden, drastic changes, quitting a job out of nowhere, walking away from school, leaving relationships behind, because something inside you just knew. And no matter how much others tried to convince you to stick it out, you couldn't do it. Your intuition wouldn't let you. And here's something else. I'm picking up that your body requires way more rest, way more care, way more energy cleansing than what makes logical sense to most people. Crowds drain you. Certain environments exhaust you. You feel energy so deeply that it soaks into you, and if you don't clear it, it lingers. You've had to build routines around protecting yourself, whether that's through rest, food, movement, meditation, or just being extra careful about who you allow into your space. You move to the rhythm of your own soul. You don't follow the normal schedules, the normal way of doing things, because normal was never meant for you. You're rewriting an entire generational pattern, healing something that has been passed down for lifetimes. And that's why, even if it feels chaotic at times, even if your choices confuse others, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Because you are fully here, fully alive, fully present in your body, in your soul, in your truth. You are not diluting yourself, not numbing yourself, not breaking yourself into pieces to fit into a world that was never meant to hold your full power. And that, divine feminine, is exactly how you heal not just yourself, but the entire line of women who came before you. As I was shuffling, the appreciation card came out in reverse. And the energy behind this? It's deep. This is about breaking a generational curse, one that's been carried through past lives, or maybe even just past versions of yourself in this lifetime. For some of you, this isn't just about past life energy. It's about moments from this very life that feel so distant, so far removed, that it almost feels like another lifetime. And the reason it feels that way? Because you've outgrown it. You've expanded, evolved, and strengthened your energetic boundaries in ways that make that old version of you almost unrecognizable. You're not that person anymore. But I do feel that at some point, whether in a literal past life or an earlier version of yourself, you were stuck in a space of deep unappreciation, like really unseen, really undervalued. Maybe it was a dominant figure in your life, a family member, a romantic partner, someone who tried to dim your light, block your shine, make you believe you had no glow at all. And for a time, maybe you believed them. Maybe you felt so small, so invisible, so powerless. And that's the energy of Angel of Strength in reverse. But here's the thing. Even in that pain, you were being shaped. You were never weak. You were just in training. That season of loneliness, that feeling of being stripped down to nothing, that was the fire that forged you into the powerhouse you are today. And I'm hearing something so strongly for you right now. Most souls would never choose the trials you've endured. Most wouldn't survive it. But you did. And not only did you survive, you turned it into fuel. The very thing that was meant to break you became the catalyst for your power, your clarity, and the depth of your love. You love so deeply because you've been hurt so deeply. And that's something most people don't understand about you. People see your light now. They see your kindness, your warmth, your power. But they don't know what it took to get here. They don't know the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the moments you felt like nothing, the days you spent picking yourself up when no one else did. And here's what's even wilder. This journey didn't just reveal your strength, it also revealed the truth about others. It unmasked certain people. For some of you, this could have been a narcissistic person in your life, someone whose control you've finally broken free from. For others, it's the unmasking of your true self. No more hiding, no more playing small, no more diluting your energy to make others comfortable. You see things clearly now. And because of that, you'll never be placed in those same old patterns again. You've stepped into your destiny timeline. You're already living in it. And you did it by walking through the fire that most people would have never dared to face. I'm going to reshuffle here because something big is coming through. What is this unmasking? I just pulled the 7th chakra. And wow, this makes so much sense. This card is all about divine connection, intuition, and higher wisdom. This unmasking, it's not just about breaking free from an illusion. It's about aligning with your soul's truth. Your crown chakra is wide open, and because of that, you're starting to see things with a clarity you never had before. For some of you, this isn't just about seeing the world differently. It's about seeing yourself differently. And if that's the case, I know this hasn't been easy. Because to unmask yourself, you've had to go through an ego death, shedding layers of who you thought you were, grieving versions of yourself that never really belonged to you. It's like you've been carrying around a version of yourself that was shaped by expectations, conditioning, maybe even survival. And now you're breaking free. But here's the thing, this shedding is still happening. You're still in this transition, still letting go of old attachments, still learning how to embrace who you've always been meant to be. And I know you feel it. I'm hearing you're not losing yourself. You're finally becoming yourself. Let's go deeper into this. Magician and the Mirror just came out, which is all about activation and balance, especially between the divine masculine and feminine energies within you. And that makes perfect sense because when you release the mask, when you stop living as the version of yourself that was shaped by external forces, something powerful happens. You start attracting the right people, the right community. But first, you had to cut yourself free. I'm seeing someone untangling themselves from a web made of past beliefs, expectations, attachments to people, situations, and identities that never really fit. And in cutting yourself free, you're making space for the people who are meant to find you. Now, here's something that might hit deep. You may have felt incredibly alone in this lifetime. Maybe you've struggled to find your soul tribe, or you've moved from group to group, but never really felt fully seen or understood. And that's not random. That was by design. You were placed in that web on purpose. It wasn't just about you finding your way out. It was about you showing others the way out too. You were meant to experience certain environments, belief systems, and even restrictions so that when you finally broke free, you could light the path for others. And I know that hasn't been easy. I know there were times when you questioned who you even were outside of what you were told to be. But this journey, the process of unraveling, unmasking, and rediscovering yourself, is exactly what's aligning you with your soul's highest path. Okay, let's pull the next card and see what's coming through. The Garden and the Gate reversed. Wow. This is big. This is breakthrough energy. This is the kind of shift that changes everything, because you're no longer sitting behind the gate, wondering what's out there. You're stepping through it. This next phase of your life, it's all about stepping into your light. You're done playing small, done dimming yourself to make others comfortable, done hiding parts of yourself just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Now, you're free. And because of that, the right people, the ones who truly see you, feel you, and resonate with your energy, are about to enter your life. This is where your soul tribe starts finding you. And the reason why it's happening now is because you're finally unveiled. You're no longer caught in that web of hesitation, doubt, or holding back. You're stepping forward, and the universe is responding. The connections you're about to make will feel different because they are different. These people will get you in a way that past connections never could. You won't have to over-explain yourself. You won't have to dim your light. You'll just be, and they'll see you. And listen, if you've ever been hard on yourself for struggling to open up to certain people, if you've ever wondered why it felt like no one truly understood you, there was nothing wrong with you. Your intuition was speaking. It was protecting you. It was saying, not here, not yet. Be careful with this one. And you listened, even if you didn't realize it at the time. But now the energy is shifting. You're moving into a space where real connections are forming. Not surface level, not forced, real, soul aligned, deeply felt. You're going to meet people who match your energy, who feel like home, who make you feel safe enough to open up in a way you never have before. This is the era of deep connections, of soul alignment, of stepping into your power with people who truly honor your presence. And for the first time in a long time, you won't have to keep your guard up. You won't have to shrink yourself. You can just be. And that's freedom. Moving on, here we have the patience card. And right away, I have to say, there's something about the number 7 here. If that number has been showing up for you, pay attention because it's not random. It's speaking to you. 7 is a number of completion, cycles closing, divine timing at work. For some of you, this could be a 7-year cycle, a 7-month journey, or something that's been slowly unfolding over time. You might not have even realized it, but everything you've been moving through has been leading you to this moment. And what's interesting, in so many spiritual teachings, 7 is tied to divine rest. Think about it. When creation was finished, on the 7th day, God rested. He didn't stress, chase, force, or try to control what was already done. He sat back and let what was already created unfold. And that's where you are right now. This is your 7th day moment, the breath before the breakthrough, the calm before everything starts shifting in a way you've been waiting for. It's like you've been climbing this mountain for so long, and now you're standing at the top, catching your breath, taking in the view. The work, it's been done. The seeds, they've been planted. Now it's about allowing. Because here's the truth. What's meant for you is already in motion. The universe is already orchestrating everything behind the scenes. You don't have to chase, struggle, or force what's already yours. And I feel like for some of you, this is exactly what you need to hear right now. You might have been feeling like you're in a waiting period, like things are moving too slow or not coming together the way you thought they would. Maybe you've been questioning if all your effort was even worth it. This is your confirmation, the sign you've been waiting for, the reassurance you didn't even know you needed. Yes, it was worth it. Every effort, every moment of patience, every time you chose to keep going even when nothing seemed to be happening, it all mattered. Yes, you are exactly where you need to be. Even if it feels slow, even if it feels uncertain, you are not behind and you are not lost. Yes, everything is still aligning for you, even in the moments when it feels like nothing is moving. The universe has not forgotten you. This is the part where you lean back and trust, where you release the need to control every little detail and instead shift into the energy of receiving. You don't have to fight for what is already yours. You don't have to force something that is meant to flow. The door is already open. You just have to take that step forward, breathe, and allow yourself to walk through it. Yes, something is about to shift, and fast. The card that came through is Storm Warning. And listen, this isn't about destruction, it's about movement. It's about the kind of change that shakes things up, the kind that's been building in the background for a while now, just waiting for the right moment to break through. And now, that moment is here. This storm, it's not random. It's not coming to create chaos in your life. It's coming to clear the way, to break down old barriers, to push out anything that's been standing in the way of what's truly meant for you. And once the dust settles, what's left? Clarity, alignment, a new beginning. For some of you, this storm is coming in the form of a person, someone who is very, very sure about you. They're not here to play games. They're not here to hesitate. This is someone with a strong, direct, determined energy. They move fast. When they see something, or in this case, someone, they go for it. And right now, that someone is you. If you're a divine feminine, this could be a masculine energy that's either already stepped in or is about to. And the way they come in, it's sudden, maybe even unexpected, but it's not without purpose. This person isn't here to test the waters. They're not here to play it safe. They're coming in strong, and they're making their intentions clear. Now, don't be surprised if their energy feels a little overwhelming at first. This person is used to moving fast, making bold decisions, and trusting their instincts. They don't waste time overthinking things. And for once, they're following their heart, not their head. But here's the thing, you might feel this shift before it even happens. You might already sense it. That electric, restless feeling, that's because something big is approaching. Whether it's this person, an opportunity, or a sudden realization that changes everything, it's coming. So what do? You ground yourself. You trust that whatever is being shaken up is happening for a reason. Because this storm, it's not here to break you. It's here to break you free. But here's where it gets really interesting. With the door to value card reversed, this isn't just about missed opportunities. This is about feeling disconnected from abundance, from progress, from the flow of things. Like you're standing in front of a locked door, pushing, knocking, waiting, but nothing seems to budge. And that can be frustrating because deep down, you know what's meant for you is still out there. You can feel it. But then, this opposite energy comes in. A sudden rush, a push forward. It's like two realities colliding. One moment, you feel like everything is slipping through your fingers. The job, the love, the timing, the alignment. And the next, there's this urge to move, to break free, to stop waiting and start choosing. This is bigger than just physical movement. This is an energetic crossroads, and maybe you feel it too. One foot still caught in the past, replaying old doubts, fears, and what-ifs, and the other foot hesitating at the threshold of something completely new. This push and pull feeling isn't random. It's happening because your soul is trying to transition, trying to leave behind the energy of hesitation, scarcity, and playing it safe, and step fully into trust, action, and expansion. And let's be real, that can be terrifying, because moving forward means letting go of old stories. The story that says, I missed my chance. The story that says, I'm not ready yet. The story that says, maybe this isn't meant for me. But here's the truth. The door was never really closed. It was never locked. It was just waiting for you to stop seeing it as a barrier and start seeing it as an invitation. So ask yourself, which energy will you choose? The one that keeps you stuck in hesitation, or the one that pushes you towards something greater. Because right now, everything is shifting. And the question isn't if you'll step forward, it's when. Okay, so the last card that came through is a reversed broken heart. This tells me that some of you have been sitting with a lot of emotions lately, grieving the old version of yourself, the life you thought you'd have, the relationships that didn't work out. Maybe you've been feeling this pull toward your past, like your mind keeps drifting back to things you thought you were over. And I get it. Healing isn't linear. Just because you've moved forward doesn't mean there won't be moments when the past still whispers your name. But listen, you didn't lose anything. You became everything. Every single thing you think you lost was never truly lost. It was simply attached to an older version of you. And that version, you outgrew it. You shed that skin. You stepped into something bigger. And yes, I know, it can feel uncomfortable. Growth doesn't always feel like a celebration in the moment. Sometimes it feels like grief, like uncertainty, like standing in between two worlds, not fully in one or the other. But here's what I need you to know. You're not standing in loss. You're standing in transformation. And the energy I'm picking up on? Things are about to shift fast. The moment you take your eyes off what you think you've left behind and turn toward what's ahead, you're going to see doors opening that you didn't even know existed. Opportunities, blessings, alignment, all flowing in, all waiting for you to claim them. This is a major pivot moment, from loss to expansion, from endings to new beginnings. And something about this shift feels rapid. Almost like the second you surrender, the second you finally say, okay, I trust this. I trust where I'm being led. Boom. Everything starts moving. A breakthrough, a divine opening, a flood of new energy. And here's the thing. Your past was never meant to be a chain keeping you stuck. It was meant to be a lesson, a launching pad, a part of your journey that got you here. You don't have to carry it anymore. You can honor it and still move forward. You can acknowledge the pain and still step into your power. I need you to really let that sink in. This isn't a loss, it's a release. And that means there's space now. Space for something bigger. Space for something better. Space for the version of you that you're becoming. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Wow, the energy in this one was deep. Really, really powerful. I hope this message found exactly who needed to hear it today. If something resonated, take it as a sign. You're on the right path, even if it doesn't all make sense just yet. Like I said, this reading went a little longer than usual, but I always follow the flow, and today, this message clearly needed to come through. Thank you for being here, for sharing your energy, and for co-creating this space with me. If you resonate with these messages, I'd love to have you as part of this soul family, so feel free to subscribe and stay connected. Otherwise, I'm sending you so much love. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next reading.